Hey BookTube! So today I have a review of City of Heavenly Fire, which is the final book in Cassandra Clare's epic 6-book series, The Mortal Instruments. Something that I've already been aware of that Cassandra Clare has been doing with these books is she adds a lot of characters and a lot of plots and a lot of subplots. It can be good because you get so many different perspectives and it's like you're reading a book that's actually 4 or 5 stories instead of just one. So that's kind of cool. But the problem is when you're reading something like The Mortal Instruments and you followed like the main gang of characters like Clary, Jace, Isabel, Alec, Simon, which is already like quite a big handful of main characters, and then you throw in a lot of other characters, it takes away from the main characters, and it's like, whose story am I really reading about anymore? I just really would have liked it better, I think, if like a lot of the subplots had been just cut out and we could have spent more time with Clary and Jace and Alec and Isabel and, you know, the main gang. Another thing, which has been a theme since the first book, there always is something horribly wrong with Jace. In the first cycle of books, it was that he was Clary's brother, and he had some daddy issues, and so that carried on through the whole first cycle of books. But then in the next cycle, it doesn't even get that much better because he gets possessed by Sebastian, which is not dandy at all, and then in this book, he's filled with heavenly fire. Now, one thing I did want to mention was the awkwardly written sex scene between Jace and Clary. The words I have to describe that scene are a fan fiction. The most ridiculous part of all of it was when it's implied that Jace reaches for a condom. Okay, because here's the thing. Jace is filled with heavenly fire, so he can barely touch Clary. So that's the first problem. Second problem, he's traveling into this demon realm about to defeat this most evil villain of all time, and he thinks to himself, I'm gonna bring a condom just in case. Something I'm really happy about is that there were no major character deaths in this book, which I was expecting major character deaths just because that's usually what authors are doing these days. I don't know if it's a trend or maybe I'm just noticing it more, but it seems like all major big series or something to that effect, there's always someone who's going to die, and it really sucks, and I was wondering who it was going to be, but I am so thankful Cassandra Clare didn't feel like killing anybody. One other subplot that I was really having a problem with in this book that Cassandra Clare was really pushing was that of Emma Carstairs and her little gang. I understand that Cassandra Clare was preparing us for the next cycle because they're going to be about them, but I don't know if it was necessary for her to include so much of them in this book because this book wasn't about them, and she's gonna have how many more books dedicated to those characters. I didn't think that they really had a place in this book, and it just felt kind of weird. Another great thing about this book, in my opinion, was the inclusion of Jem into the story, and I really am glad that we had an explanation for how Jem became mortal again. And I just love how the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments collided and how it all connected. One more thing I wanted to mention was the character of Simon, because Simon really has become my favorite character. He's so funny. He's like that comedic relief that you need, and there were times that I would laugh out loud while reading this book, and they were pretty much only the scenes Simon was in. I wouldn't really be too opposed if Cassandra Clare decided to write a series just based on Simon becoming a shadow hunter, because I think that would be probably a really funny, really great book. But that's pretty much all that I have for City of Heavenly Fire. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and happy reading.